right. Welcoming you, a very large group from all over the world, to our chair yoga class. Today is a Mindfulness Express. We're going to hop aboard the Mindfulness Express today, and we're going to infuse our practice with mindfulness. So we hear this word bandied about, and there's quite a lot of research on mindfulness-based stress reduction practices. But mindfulness, for our purposes today, is defined by Jon Kabat-Zinn as present moment, non-judgmental awareness. So we're coming into the present moment, we're trying to be non-judgmental about it, and we're just being in this awareness of what's going on and the interior state of being. So we're going to be moving through awareness of the physical body, awareness of your inner state of being, how you're feeling, and awareness of the quality of your thoughts and your mind. So let's go right into that, my friends. I'm going to start. Maybe you need to stretch for a moment. I'm just going to lift my arms up and stretch and make any little movements that I would feel good making. Trust me, we will hit all the joints in the body today. But I'm going to start with a little bit of awareness. I'm going to rest a hand on the heart and a hand on the belly. My feet are on the earth, and I'm sitting up away from the back of my chair so I can use my core here, and my spine is working to stay lifted. I'm going to close my eyes if that would feel good to me, and just begin to arrive. So I'm breathing in. I am here. Becoming aware of my physical body as I breathe and the breath fills my physical body. See if you can take some mindful breaths. Awareness of that physical layer. Are you feeling energetic? Are you feeling sluggish today? Just arriving with your physical body, feet on the earth, seat on the chair, crown of the head lifted, and the breath is just infusing this awareness. And perhaps you would like to ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? And allowing whatever percolates up to be what it is without judgment. So noticing my inner state of being, how am I feeling today in this moment? Just getting started, arriving, breathing, noticing. And maybe I can bring a little bit of awareness to the quality of my mind today. Are my thoughts very busy? Am I ruminating? Do I feel like I'm pretty focused? Just noticing, observing, no judgment. And here I am in this whole state of being, mind, body, spirit. I'm going to blink my eyes open and begin my mindfulness practice towards embodiment. So yoga is a form of meditation. Movement can be a form of meditation, as we learn in our Tai Chi classes. So as we move today, I will invite you to just infuse every movement with your breath, which gives it a layer of awareness and kind of connects that, gives us that mind-body connection. So I'm going to start with awareness of my head and my face and my neck. I'm going to just open my mouth and kind of release my jaw. Okay, anybody who is not muted here, mute you. There we go. I'm opening and closing my mouth, awareness of my face and the muscles in my face. And I might take a moment to just smooth out my brow or trace the jawline, give myself a little healing touch. If you're somebody who experiences migraine, you can take the hair and pull it gently away from the head, even if you don't experience migraine. That can be a delicious way to relieve tension. All those little muscles. The base of the skull is a place where we tend to collect tension as well. So lots of areas we can become aware of, and I'm trying to do so again without judgment. Like, yep, that's tight, just noticing that. And then we can begin to move the head and neck. So I'm gonna just tilt my right ear towards my right shoulder. Come on back to center, take a breath in. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Maybe you are just doing this in your mind, breathing in and breathing out. Letting both shoulders relax as you move your head from side to side. And my recipe here today is just head to toe embodiment, right? So I've started with the head, the face, I'm moving down to the neck. And you could do this as long as you like. Maybe you have a lot of tension on one side and you want to hold it, you want to linger. So we're just observing. And maybe it is the most subtle movement. Maybe it's no movement at all, but only moving the mind. Very good. It's very good, Marnie. I love to see that. I'm going to stretch my right arm out to the right. And I'm going to open my palms so I have a lot of space between my fingers, and I'm going to just go ahead and tip those fingers back towards my face. I'm getting a really big wrist stretch. I'm taking a breath in and creating a fist around my thumb, dropping the knuckles down as I breathe out. Inhale, lifting, opening, spreading. Exhale, tucking. You got it. And one more. Opening the palm and making a fist. So good. I'm going to keep that palm lifted and just begin to circle my palm. And the palm does not have to be this high up. You could start at a lower place, but we will be moving downwards little by little. Moving downwards with my breath, with my feet on the earth. I am here. Tucking my arm behind my back, if that would feel okay, or resting it on the hip, another option. And I'm going to just spin my chin down, so I'm peeking down at that left shoulder, taking a big breath in, softening both shoulders, you got it. I'm going to let go of some of the burdens and tensions I carry around with my breath, letting that exhale all the way out. And then we'll come back to center, and I'll just rest both hands on my lap for a moment and notice the difference in the quality between the two sides of my body, physical body. When I'm ready, I could move to the other side. So left arm out to the left. And I'm spreading the fingertips, tipping the fingers back, really big wrist stretch, and then creating a fist around the thumb, dropping the knuckles down. Such a good one. Breathing in, lifting and spreading. Exhaling, knuckles down. And we'll take one more lift, spread, knuckles down. keeping that palm lifted, or it could be a little bit lower if you're feeling any pain or discomfort. And I'm gonna, which I forgot to do on the other side, tilt my right ear towards my right shoulder and circle the palm. Gentle little circles, self-care circles, taking good care of myself today. That arm can move downward, and we're taking the arm behind the back eventually. And just spinning the chin down. I can take a couple of easy breaths here. I am here. I'm here in whatever state of being I am in, and that's perfectly fine. Coming back up. And then I'll go ahead and lift both arms up out to the sides. And what I'll do now is I'll just flick this imaginary water off the ends of my fingertips. And maybe I'm wishing for my muscle spasms to be gone, right? I'm casting a little spell here. My stress, be gone. And I might get a little faster. Right? Do what you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hands down. Feel that vitality. Maybe you feel a little extra warmth in the wrists. And now I'll bring the arms back up, and I'm just going to roll my wrists. And then I'll let my fingers extend, and I'll begin to work the other direction, conducting my own private orchestra here. I might get a little faster, more control. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Rub those hands together. Interlace the fingers. Press the palms away. Juice up the fingers. Many of us caring for osteoarthritis or peripheral neuropathy in the hands, the fingers. I want to do a little something every day for my joints. And anything else you can think of that would feel good for your hands. Maybe it's a massage. Maybe you want to work each individual finger in some way, just loosening up the joints. Using your own creativity to come up with something that would feel good to you. I like to get in that little meaty place between the thumb and the first finger. And that is actually an acupressure point that we can use for pain in there. Not trained in that, but something I learned along the way. All right. Give me high fives all around. High fives, high fives, high fives. I love it. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so we've done the head, shoulders, the arms to some degree. Why don't we do another arm exercise here? So I'm going to lift my arms out and up and back out and down. I'm breathing in, creating this circle around myself. I am here. I am here in whatever state of being I'm in, and that's perfectly fine. I could go to the full range of my motion today, or I could maybe go to 75% and do a little less if I'm feeling fatigued or depleted, or if I'm in a really hot climate and I need to take care of my body temperature. 3 more, inhaling, exhaling. You got it. It's beautiful, Bonnie. And 1 more. Really nice. All right, bringing those arms out to the sides. And here I am, that wooden figure on the front of a boat. My chest pushing through the waves, heart lifted. I'm bringing my hands back. I'm ready for whatever comes, taking a breath in. And as I exhale, I'll bring my arms in front, interlace the fingers, pull the arms away, create some space in that upper back. Good. Inhale, the prow of a ship. Exhale, caring for my upper back. And we could take one more. Opening, closing, pushing those palms away, juicing up the fingers one last time. So feeling pretty awake in my upper body now, and I want to work with my spine. So I'm awareness of the spine, starting with some awareness of the spine. I'm going to bring my hand onto my belly and my hand onto my lower back. And I'm going to play around with tilting my pelvis forward and back. So I'm accentuating the lumbar curve and maybe erasing the lumbar curve. If I were laying on the ground, I would be erasing it towards the floor. Just a little bit of movement here. And if you have lower back issues, right, if this causes you discomfort or pain, you're going to maybe modify it, be very subtle about it. But a little bit of movement could really help if you are experiencing issues in the back. So getting the juices flowing. And maybe if you know it feels better to arch rather than round, you just do that movement and not the other movement. All right, then I'm going to take a wider stance with my legs. Wider stance with my legs. And I'm just going to circle my torso. And maybe I should move back to my other chair. So go ahead and take a wide stance and know that you can take that sip of water anytime you need it. I'm taking my torso circles. Maybe it's a really, really small circle. Waking up my spine. Finding my breath. Adding that layer of awareness. Maybe I'm just doing this movement in my mind. Moving in the other direction. And then slowly coming back to center with my feet on the earth. I still have my wide stance. I'm going to do a little bit of a lateral flexion of the spine. So I'm lifting my right arm up and over. Little side bend. Could be the smallest side bend. The arm doesn't have to lift either. You could just rest the hand on the hip or the rib cage. Coming back to center. Left arm lift up and over. Maybe it's just a mini side bend. We're breathing in and out as we do this, flowing back and forth at our own pace, with the sit bones rooting down, the feet glued to the earth, and really exposing the side body here. Imagine the folds or pleats of an accordion filling up with air. Or maybe the wind in some sails. I seem to be on a boat theme. That wind in the sails could be the breath as well. One more on each side. And then I'm going to bring my arms just out to the sides loosely, moving my mind to my center or my core. In Tai Chi, Rami talks about the lower energy center, like imagining there's a ball there, a little ball of warmth. And as I have that, locking in on that, I'm going to twist a little bit to the right, twisting the torso a little bit to the right. Come to center, breathing in. Exhale, twist a little bit to the left. And we're just rotating the spine here from side to side. If the arms tire, you can bring them down. Moving from side to side at my own pace. Maybe I go a little farther. Not going to push through discomfort or pain. And then I'll do one more on each side and come back to center, take hold of my chair so I can really feel this head, this chest, my arms, my spine is warmed up. I'm moving down to my hips. So I'm going to step my feet back in, step my feet out. And of course, my core is really working. So you can go as quickly or as slowly as you like with this. And I'm trying to stay stable and lifted, so I'm not leaning from side to side too much. But if you need to, that's okay too. How am I feeling doing this? I'm just observing my mind as I do this, in and out. Continuing to breathe. Very good. The next time you step in, stay on a smaller stance, and I'm just going to lift up my right leg and lift up my left leg, so I'm juicing up the knees, turning on the quad muscles. Maybe I would like to lift that right leg and hold and point and flex the ankle a few times. And then switching sides, lifting that left leg up, pointing and flexing the ankle, and we'll do more with the feet in a moment. Could come back and just extend my right leg with the heel on the earth. Now I'm at the very edge of my chair, I'm holding onto my chair, and I'm going to pump the foot down. See if I can touch my toes to the earth, maybe, maybe not, and then peel my toes up and back. So I'm getting really full range here, if that would feel okay for you. And I'm looking to strengthen and stretch the areas where I might experience peripheral neuropathy, or some of us talking about muscle cramping in the lower limbs. I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I do about, between 5 and 10 any given time. Resting that left heel on the earth, pointing the toes, pressing the earth and lifting back up. Finding your breath. Good. And then I'll come back, rest my hands in my lap, and I'll just take a little inventory here. So I'm going to close my eyes and just let my awareness settle from head to toe, my whole body. I'm aware of my whole body. I'm aware of my energy in my body. And I'm going to ask myself, how am I feeling? Do I feel that standing up would be in the cards for me today? Standing up and doing a few standing postures. So that's an option. And if you're not in the mood for that today, that's perfectly fine. You can stay seated. You can modify. You can do the movements in your mind as well. But I'm going to begin to transition mindfully. Since that's our theme, I'm going to be mindful about my transition to standing. And I might take a moment to just make sure I don't have anything underfoot. I'm not going to trip on anything. Might take a sip of water. Oh, my Lord Almighty. That's so interesting. Okay. Well, just got a text from Gordon. We'll be talking about that after the recording. So thank you for asking about that. So interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead, and Gordon is a well-loved member of our community, and he's not here today. He is doing okay. But I will fill you in on that after class. So let's go ahead and either sitting or standing, I'm going to be working with my toes. I might just mentally be doing this. Some of us were talking about, nope, the toes don't do anything I want them to. But I'm going to try to lift all 10 toes. Maybe some of them lift, maybe none of them lift. Spread them as wide as I can, and then dig them back down. So we're working on the foundation of our balance, lifting, spreading the toes, digging back down. And one more, whatever you can muster there. If it would feel okay, I'm going to hold on to my chair and rise up onto my tiptoes, right? Or I could just rock my feet if I'm seated. So I'm lifting up and floating my way back down, holding onto the chair. So nice to see some of you who weren't able to stand due to various reasons standing today. And it's so nice of some of you who decided not to stand, that you're taking care of yourself in a seated posture. And if you want to fly, you can fly with me. Maybe it's one or both arms. So I'm tiptoeing and lifting my wings and floating my way back down. Last week's class, we were practicing all kinds of flamingo-related things, and that was a really fun class. If you haven't checked that class out and you're really interested in improving balance, that might be a nice one to see on the YouTube playlist. It's called Flamingo. Let's do 2 more. Beautiful. So I'm going to sink down into my knees a little bit. Bring my hips back, right? And pull my belly towards my spine. So I'm taking good care of my back, my lower back. This would feel okay. And then I'm going to lift my arms up, straighten my legs. Exhale, sink down, arms swing back. So just some easy chair pulses. We're breathing in, lifting up, breathing out, sinking down. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, exhale, just observing. How does this feel without judgment? Good. And then we're coming back up to stands. I'm going to take some steps away from my chair and find my downward facing dog. If I'm seated, I might take a wide stance and do a very careful forward fold with a flat back. So finding my downward facing dog. If I have vertigo or glaucoma, I could keep my head lifted. If I feel good looking down at the toes, I could do that. I'm looking to create space in my spine, stretch my hamstrings. And we're slowly, carefully making our way back up. And let's step that right foot forward and the left foot back at an angle. I'm sinking into my right knee for warrior 1. And my torso is upright rather than leaning forward. Pull that belly towards the spine. And if you feel any pain in the lower back, shorten the stance or come out of it. So if you feel wobbly here, I'm going to walk my right foot to the right. And you're going to do whatever feels good for you in the arms. You could keep the hands on the chair. You could bring the hands to heart center. You could lift the arms up. It's all up to you, what you feel comfortable with. Feeling my feet on the earth. Finding my breath. And releasing out of it when I'm ready. Shortening my stance. Both legs are straight. Really nice to see you today. I'm just going to pour my heart forward and take a little fold here. Nice flat back, and my chin is tucked. Maybe the forearms rest on the back of the chair. Maybe I can bring my fingertips to the seat, doing what feels good to me. That belly moving up towards the spine, right? So if you're feeling pain or discomfort, move away from it. And then we'll slowly walk ourselves up and step the left foot forward, right foot back. That right foot is at a little bit of an angle and we're sinking into the left knee. Torso is upright. It's a good stretch for the hip flexor muscles on the right side. You might squeeze that right glute muscle, stabilize the hip, and work towards your version of a warrior 1. Hands can remain on your support or at heart center or overhead. That's beautiful. Really nice, guys. We're finding a breath or 2. Got it, Dave. releasing slowly, we will shorten our stance. Both legs are straight. I'm taking a gentle bow forward. Being careful here if I have back issues to integrate my core muscles into this. So pulling the belly towards the spine, tucking the chin, finding my breath, or just doing this whole thing in my mind. And when I'm ready, I'll come back to my downward facing dog. If downward facing dog isn't something that feels good to you, you could do the opposite of downward facing dog. You could do back bend. Maybe the hands sliding up and down the back of the spine. If you want to join me there from your down dog, you could come up. Create little fists, the knuckles up and down the back of the spine, lift the heart, tiny little arch of the back. Legs are engaged. Beautiful, friends. And then I'm just going to take a little walk. I can do this if I'm seated, marching in place. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Maybe the knees are lifting high, maybe they're not. I'm breathing. I'm trying to catch up with Jane. It's like a jog in place. I love it. I'm really feeling that energy today. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Balance challenge. We're going to work with our flamingo pose again. Last week we were holding it between 10 and 30 seconds. So if you have hip or knee issues and you're feeling really wobbly today and you want to reduce that number, that's fine. So let's go ahead and begin by pouring the weight into that right leg. After this, we'll come to sit and we'll wind down. So last standing pose. Weight in that right foot, pick up the left leg, hug it in, soft bend to that right knee, the standing leg. So I'm engaging all the muscles I can, distributing the effort, and I'm working towards finding my edge. Where do I wobble? I want to find that. That's where I improve. And if you fall out of it, just come back into it. Non-judgmental, right? Our present moment non-judgmental awareness. And that'll do it for this side. I'm just going to kick out that right leg, juice up the joint, and then switch sides. Weight in that left leg, soft bend to the knee. Finding my flamingo on this side. It could be more challenging, less challenging. I'm just observing without judgment. Beautiful, friends. 1 or 2 more breaths. If you fall out of it, come back to it. And then we'll just walk it out one more time. Dance it out if you're more in a dancing mood. Maybe you want to do a couple hip circles or not. Maybe it's a slow sort of hula. That's good. And then let's go ahead and come to a seated posture, again, mindfully. If you've been standing, coming to sit. Not in any hurry to get there. And I'll see how it would feel to very carefully, gently cross my right ankle over my left knee. I could tap the bottom of my right foot, like we've been learning for peripheral neuropathy. A form of Qigong, Tai Chi, is to use this sort of tapping motion. Some people like it, some people don't like it. If you're not one of those people who likes it, you could just do a soft massage. That could feel really nice. For me, I don't like the super hard tapping, and I certainly wouldn't ever want to use a wooden spoon that was recommended. I'm more of a gentle person, but some of us need a little more than that. And then from here, I'm just going to take hold of my shin and lean forward a tiny, tiny bit. Allow the shoulders to soften. So I'm feeling a big stretch in my right hip. Finding my breath. How am I doing? We can sit up, cross the knee over, maybe roll that right ankle. And then we'll take a twist to the right. I'm using all my core muscles to twist to the right, gentle twist. As I breathe in, I'm getting a little taller. As I breathe out, maybe I twist a tiny bit deeper. Really wonderful, putting a little pressure on the organs. And then as we come back to center, all that delicious fresh blood released into the organs. I'm going to take my foot down and just rub my tummy for a moment, going in a clockwise direction. This is the direction of digestion. So just taking a gentle circular motion to my belly between sides. You got it. And then we'll go ahead and switch sides. I'm going to take my left ankle over my right knee. Little gentle massage or maybe some tapping to the bottom of that left foot. It's like, hello, is anybody there? Wake up. Maybe a little massage. Maybe you want to individuate the toes a little bit. While you're watching TV, you can work with your toes, bring space between the toes manually. That's a good thing to do. And then I'll go towards my hip stretch, just leaning forward if there's room to do so. Relaxing my shoulders, softening my jaw, finding a breath or two or three. When I'm ready, I'll come up, cross the knee over, and move towards my twist to the left. Twisting to the left, softening the shoulders down. Using those core muscles to twist. I'm not going to go past my comfort level here. Slowly unwinding back to center, taking any other motions the body's asking for, especially if you weren't here for the whole session, any movements you'd like to make. Before we close our class today with another little mindfulness meditation. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Feel the feet on the earth, the seat in the chair. I'm going to invite you to, or give you the option to, rest a hand on the heart, a hand on the belly. Just noticed my mic was flopping down. I hope you guys could hear me. I am here in this moment without judgment, practicing mindfulness, bringing my awareness to my breath, flowing in and out. I am here, breathing. I'm extending my awareness to my entire physical body. I'm here in my physical body, especially after a nice yoga practice. I feel like I'm more in my body. Taking a moment to just observe the inner state of being. How am I feeling in this moment? Without judgment. And staying with my breath, staying with my awareness of my physical body, awareness of my interior state of being. And of course, the mind is supposedly controlling it all. So observing the quality of my mind. Maybe I can just allow the quality of the mind to reflect a sky with clouds passing through it. When a thought comes, we can just observe that thought as it floats on by. I am here. Taking both hands to heart center, if you would like to join me as we close our class with a mindful Om. You could listen or join in, breathing in for one Om. And thanking you so much for your practice today, friends. Namaste.